Morning everyone, my name's Tim, and today in our Advent series we're going to look at Matthew chapter 2 verses 3 to 8. I'm going to read those for us. When King Herod heard this, he was deeply disturbed, and all Jerusalem with him. So he assembled all the chief priests and scribes of the people and asked them where the Messiah would be born. In Bethlehem of Judea, they told him, because this is what was written by the prophet. And you, Bethlehem, in the land of Judah, are by no means least among the rulers of Judah, because out of you will come a ruler who will shepherd my people Israel. Then Herod secretly summoned the wise men and asked them the exact time and the star appeared. He sent them to Bethlehem and said, "Go and search carefully for the child. When you find him, report back to me, so that I too can go and worship him." Back in 2013, Prince George was born at St Mary's Hospital in London, and it was big news around the world. At the Tower of London, guns were fired, bells rang for hours from Westminster Abbey, crowds gathered outside the hospital, and world leaders sent their congratulations to the royal family. And of course, the world news reported it on the fronts of every newspaper all around the world. When Jesus was born, King of the Jews, it doesn't even raise a whimper in Jerusalem. It's not until the Magi appear that Herod hears of the one born King of the Jews, and it sends him into a tailspin. And that's pretty strange, isn't it? Because there's nothing more powerless than a young child. They can't feed themselves, they can't move themselves, they can't change themselves, they can't clean themselves. And yet the 70-year-old King Herod is greatly disturbed and troubled by this news. And so he gathers together the chief priests and teachers of the law to inquire where this one-born King of the Jews might be. And these leaders, they're no fools. They know their Old Testament. The Christ will be born in Bethlehem. And they share with him Micah chapter 5, verse 2. And you, Bethlehem, in the land of Judah, out of you will come a ruler who will shepherd my people. The Roman Senate 40 years earlier had appointed Herod as king of the Jews, and now a clash was on the cards, a clash of two kings. Jesus, the legitimate king, who fulfills Micah chapter 5, who is a son of Abraham from the tribe of Judah, in the line of David, born of a virgin, and Herod, the illegitimate king, who actually works to have his genealogy records destroyed because they testify against him. You see, he knows that he's sitting on a throne that is not his. And the contrast couldn't be greater. Jesus the legitimate, Herod the illegitimate. And so Herod is now desperate to see off Jesus, the rival. In fact, the Roman Jewish historian Josephus tells us that Herod's so desperate for power that he removes any rival that he sees coming his way. He removes his favourite wife. I don't know what that means for the way he treated his other wife or wives. He kills his 3 sons. He kills his brother-in-law. He kills his mother-in-law, and kills his brother. Anyone who was a threat was on the hit list. And now in the birth of Jesus, he faces a new rival, a rival from the legitimate king. Herod knows the scriptures. He can even believe that they are true, but he's now preparing to fight against what God had promised, the promise-making and the promise-keeping God. Instead of submitting and worshipping like the Magi had done. And don't be fooled by Herod's comment in verse 8, report back to me so that I can go and worship him. These Magi have come maybe 800 kilometres to come and worship Jesus, and Herod can't go 8 kilometres down the road to worship Jesus. And if you're familiar with the rest of Matthew chapter 2, you know that Herod orders that all boys 2 years and under are killed. Herod is desperate to see off any rivals. But he's now fighting a God who promised a king and has delivered a king. And so as we draw our time to a close, do you know Jesus as your king? Do you choose not just to believe it, but to submit to it and live with Jesus as your Lord? I'm going to pray the Advent prayer we've been praying together. Everlasting Father, you who were invisible became visible. God became man. Eternity entered time. In our darkness and wandering, Jesus came and brought hope. With grateful hearts we praise you and turn again to you, our source of joy and life. Restore us, renew us, fill us with your hope as our futures are secure in you. In the name of your Son and by your Spirit. Amen. Have a great day, everyone.